வணக்கம் நண்பர்களே, இது உங்கள் Vairava Palanichamy. நம்ம UPSC சிவில் சர்வீஸ் சம்பந்தமாக நிறைய விஷயங்கள் பேசிட்டு இருக்கோம். அதுல இன்னைக்கு முக்கியமா நம்ம பேச போறது 2025 சிவில் சர்வீஸ் எக்ஸாம்ல ஜெனரல் ஸ்டடீஸ் பேப்பர் 1 பத்திய ஒரு அனலைசிஸ். ஏன்னா நாளை மறுநாள் நாளை மறுநாள் இன்னைக்கு சிவில் சர்வீஸ் எக்ஸாம் 2026 தேர்வு நடைபெறும். இது ஒரு 10 நிமிஷத்துல நம்ம எக்ஸ்பிளைன் பண்ணிடுவோம். இந்த விஷயம், இந்த அனலைசிஸ் நம்ம பண்ணியிருக்கிறது இட் இஸ் டோட்டலி த்ரூ ஏஐ, ஆர்டிஃபிஷியல் இன்டெலிஜென்ஸ். அது செய்த ஒரு அனலைசிஸ். we are just explaining to you. ஓகே, ஸோ இது என்ன அப்படிங்கிறத பற்றி நம்ம பேச போகிறோம். ஒரு 10 ஸ்லைடு we'll see that. Then some analysis extra also we'll see that. Okay, right. Here this is subject-wise analysis, UPSC Prelims 2025, a comprehensive breakdown of question distribution, thematic focus, and strategic guide. Right? It's of course you know that it's 100 questions in GS paper 1. Right? Okay. So how was it the distribution? Maximum questions, right? It's economy based. See, it's like there are overall questions distribution. Economy, environment, polity, science and technology, modern history, international relations, physical geography, ancient history, world geography, social issues and schemes, art and culture, and Indian geography. Right. So, see, economy led with 18 questions, right? And closely followed by environment, ecology, then polity, and there are 3 subjects alone accounted for 47%. See, அப்போ நம்ம கான்சன்ட்ரேஷன் எதில் இருக்கணும்? எக்கானமி, என்விரான்மெண்ட், ecology and polity. It's caters to 47% of the questions. That's very, very, very important, right? Again, suppose now we break down the polity questions. So total 14 questions, and the polity main like traditional stronghold with the presentation, right? Like constitutional articles, direct and interpretative questions and fundamental rights, DPSPs and key articles, then governance and amendments, then assertion based format. So that's what the types of question being asked, right? There are 14 questions from polity. So as we mentioned, the highest number of questions from economy, 18 questions, right? And the concepts mainly, the static NCERT concept, that is about 40%. See this. அப்போ நம்ம NCERT புத்தகத்தை தரவு பண்ணணும். Then policy and schemes 30%, and current affairs linked 20%, and application based 10%. See this. What made economy tricky? The economy questions blended with static NCERT fundamentals with dynamic policy updates. Right? இது நல்லா புரிஞ்சுக்கங்க. அப்போ basic fundamentals about the economy, one should have a basic very, very strong so that it's easy. Then the conceptual clarity on inflation, fiscal policy and banking was essential. நீங்கள் பார்த்துருப்பீங்க கொஸ்டின்ஸ் எல்லாம் எப்படி இருக்குன்னு. நம்ம இதை பார்த்துட்டு அப்புறம் நம்ம கொஸ்டின் பார்க்க போகிறோம். ஓகே, ஒன் வீடியோவில். Then budget allocation, economic survey featured prominently, and application based question and real world understanding, and NCERT class 11th to 12th formed a core foundation. So NCERT book for எல்லா சப்ஜெக்ட் படிக்கும். அதே மாதிரி எக்கனாமிக்ஸ்க்கும் பேசிக்காக NCERT புக்ஸ் படிக்கிறது மிக மிக அவசியம் என்பதை இது தெளிவாக்கியிருக்கு. நெக்ஸ்ட் பார்ட் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா என்விரான்மெண்ட். இன்ஃபேக்ட் நம்பர் 2, it's a 15 questions with the global focus. Right? Climate, international agreement, global carbon target, and international bodies and key gates like IPC and then UNEP and IUCN, then conservation and efforts, species protected, species and the national parks, and match the following. So these are the focused areas, and main environment was decisive with 15 questions. That is number 2, and environment was the second highest weighted section, and match the following format and tested precise knowledge about species, treaties and organization. And key tips the AA has given. The international agreements like Paris, Kyoto and CBD and conservatory bodies were repeatedly tested. Map-based ecological zones also appeared. So that's what the base. That's what the base. Then in the history, we have around 16 questions, but it's like you have an ancient question and medieval and then modern. So totally about 16 questions, right? 6 question in from ancient and 8 question from modern, and only just two questions from medieval question, right? So that's it. But it's like everything Indus Valley, Mauryan era, and early dynasties, and NCRT based factual recall dominated. And in medieval history, Sultanate, Mughal period, and administrative and cultural lenses dominated. And modern history, most accessible section like timeline, clarity, standard resources made this doable. So these are the parts. It's all very, very, implicit, right? Fine. Then the geography questions, right? 10 to 13 questions mostly applied. Here it's a physical geography. It's about 6 questions. Then world geography, like, right? Then Indian geography. Here it's map-based questions and reasoning, environmental linkages, physical geography, and landforms, climate zones, and river system. And world geography also tested straits, regional features, and Indian geography with the minimal standalone persons, and environmental geography overlapped with the ecology section. So that's a standard. Next important is that science and technology, right? 13 questions driven by current affairs, mainly current affairs, science and technology, even economics also. Then it's on space technology, ISRO mission, satellite launches, and space policy featured prominently. And recent innovations, AI, biotechnology, emerging applications were tested, and current affairs links. Most science and technology questions were directly connected with the recent news and core scientific concept, its applied aspects, right? Next is the current affairs and international. Together it's about, you can just make it 15 or 18 questions, and it's all international relations maximum. It's about 8 questions, and social issues like 3 questions, and art and culture 2 questions, and current affairs. See this invisible thread. Current affairs did not appear as a standalone, right? Instead, 15 to 18 questions were embedded across the subjects, demanding assertion, reasoning, and all these things, right? So that's very, very important. So here is the detail. International relations question, 8 questions. Bilaterals, summits, global groupings, G20, Quad, and SCO. Then social issues schemes, government welfare schemes and social issues, about 3 questions. And art and culture, it's heritage sites and classiform, and then cultural policies, right? That's it. Now we break down like difficulty question to easy questions. Like 33% questions were easy. 33% questions were easy, and 35% questions were moderate, right? So it's mostly basic NCERT knowledge. Here it's like a conceptual clarity and tactics, and 32% was a difficult thing, and 32% were tricky, involving multi-layered reasoning and obscure facts. So this is the breakdown. So we should understand it, right? So let's see one more graph. Here is a type of question. So these are the direct questions. So if we take it direct questions, it's about 26 questions, only direct questions. See this, only 26 questions. Then it's assertion and reason questions, like you have around 12 questions. Then it's a multi-statement question, that is the highest out of 100. It's like 62% comes in this 60, this multi-statement. This is really tricky, very, very tricky. You have to be very careful. So these two are only 38%, only 38 question, right? And remaining 62 is the multi-statement. So கண்டிப்பாக பயங்கரமா ஒவ்வொருத்தரும் உழைக்கணும், right? Then only you'll be able to succeed, right? That's important. And we will see that what are the takeaway points today with this analysis, right? Okay. So key takeaway points for 2026 plan. Prioritize on big tree, that is economy, environment, polity together half of the, that we saw that around 47%. Please concentrate on that and master it first. Then second is you have to blend static and dynamic NCERT fundamentals and must be paired with the current affairs. Neither alone is sufficient. You have to have both together, right? And third very important is that practice on assess and reasoning formats. Statement based and match the following question require logical and elimination and not just recall. And finally, very important is that use of map activity. You should know map, atlas, geography, history and environment. All these things are based on maximum from the mapping. So map reading, map learning, places, geography, locations, all these things come under this, right? So you have, these are the 4 important lessons you have to prioritize and prepare, and you will be able to really score very, very high marks. So these are the very important takeaway points for the aspirants, right? So thank you very much for listening. I will come up with the question answer of the same question of 2025 in the next video, and it will be useful for you, right? So thank you for listening.
வீடியோ உங்களுக்கு பிடிச்சிருந்தா லைக் பண்ணுங்க, ஷேர் பண்ணுங்க, சப்ஸ்கிரைப் பண்ணுங்க, கமெண்ட் பண்ணுங்க, பெல் ஐக்கன் பிரஸ் பண்ண மறந்து போயிடாதீங்க. அப்பதான் நாங்க போஸ்ட் பண்ற வீடியோவோட நோட்டிஃபிகேஷன் உங்களுக்கு வரும்.